Hello and welcome to tutorial 4, where we're going to look at the character interfaces and the screen interface. I have a cold at the moment, so bear with me. It's just we're about to go live and I need to show you these few things. So let's start with the screen. Top right, you have the threat level for the current settlement. Each settlement has their own threat level, and this indicates how close they are to getting an attack. It also reflects the dangers your scouts will be in if they try and leave the settlement. And this will fluctuate up and down depending on when you last had an attack and what buildings you currently have on the go. Next we have what era you're in, what families you have. Families are basically, each of these characters represents a family that stay with you, so that's actually 34 characters. Empire supply bonus on this coming through I have none. Empire storage bonus I have none. How many diplomacy points I have to spend. Bonus for supply based on the buildings I've built, which come from the central plot, based on these. Hours of peacetime is a late game function, same as the fact I've got some fossil fuel that I haven't spent yet. Across the top we've already seen is where we can store or keep track of things we're currently making. Just click on them and pick something else. On the left hand side here we have the world map, which we'll go to again in a minute. We have resources, what resources I've currently got available or have made. Even if they're 0, it lists them to show that I know what they are. Next is craftable items, what stuff I can craft. It's going to show blue on this menu because there are no restrictions. If I go to my actual researcher, they will show that they are missing skills. What buildings I currently got to build or research. It's showing here that some of these I need to unlock through the science lab. Things that I can craft, yet again they'll just show white unless you go to your crafters, where it'll show red based on their skills. Skill books, what skill books I currently haven't read that I have in store. World skills, the current world skills I have in the game I've got at the moment. My scrapbook, which will show the current plot line. These will go gold if they're waiting to be read. And this will also sparkle if it's waiting to be read. The progress book is currently not in. Slayer book is in. As you can see, I've been doing an awful lot of slaying. And the beastry book is also in. As you can see, I've been collecting all of the available items. I haven't built the science lab on this run through, so I can't show you that here. On the screen, you can see that we have buildings that need to be upgraded. And let's have a look at the character. Character menu, there's a lot going on here. So we have his current hit points, his stats, status and health. Now these are reflected by the equipment that they're wearing and the houses they live in. As you can see, this person's maxed out their status. Status is very useful for when you're doing leadership or formation commands, etc. while in the battle screen. Is a list of what skills they currently have and their level. For the equipment, you can select what armor they're going to wear. It'll come up and tell you if they haven't got the required skills to click on it. There's mouse over, there's tooltips on all of these, so you can't see that at the moment on this video feed, but if you hover over everything, it tells you all about them. Then there's the head, your weapons, shields, various miscellaneous items. Although you've got 2 miscellaneous slots, you can't have the same item in both. So if I try and equip a herb in this one and a herb in that one, it'll say no. Production tools, it'll show you here if they're doing anything at the moment. It gives you a bonus for your production, your supply, and any pets they have. Example of a production tool here is this person is currently at 36 based on the item they're currently producing. On the right hand side you have a breakdown of all of their melee details, their range details and their defense details. Armor, as you can see, is a percentage, so you want that as high as you can on your main tank. This is my main tank. As you can see, he has 55% armor. That's a 55% reduction on all incoming damage. That is very useful to have. You have game stats here, what they've currently done. This particular character, each character will have their own game stats to show what they've crafted, what they've killed, anytime they've run away from combat, any combats they've won. You can pick titles just for a bit of flavor text on the character. Titles unlock based on what they've been doing. The productions we've just seen, if they're currently reading a skill book, so if I read a skill book, baking, I'm not actually going to read a skill book on this character for baking, but oh wow, why not, just to show you. That will now, when you come out of pause and then go back in, slowly have a bar of them reading baking. Right, the buttons across the bottom, as you see, they just use the one to read books. This will send the character off scouting. These two here, the first one here, it says whether they're available as a quester or not. The options are defender or quester. If you go to the world map and you pick on something, they only show up in here if they're questers. If you list them as defenders, they will not show up here. This saves you having to scroll through loads of characters. This one here, it hops between frontline and reserves. This is the default position this character will take should the town get attacked, or where they appear in the quester line. If they've got frontline, they will appear on the top row of the quester, and they will take the first 4 positions they have available on the front line. If you've listed more than 4 frontline in your town, then it's going to literally be the order of when they join the town is the order they will appear. If you've picked reserve, when the town gets attacked, they will ultimately drop into the reserve position, and on a quester, they will fill the bottom panel. This allows you to move characters between towns, and this will delete your character. Now, on to the fun part, customization. In here, you can choose their names. You can randomize or you can pick your own. If you have more than one person with the same family name in the same town, they will become family members and they will gain special bonuses and weaknesses in combat. Here you can hide the armor so you can see what your base character is without all the stuff stuck on them. You can randomize their looks, or you could just change their looks, their hairstyles. You've got voice options as well.
Kill them! Kill them all!
Yeah, kill them all. Great. Over here you can purchase basically increasing their basic stats if you have the money. If you don't, they'll be grayed out. And this also goes the same across here where you have feats. This character here has purchased a lot of feats. So they're green if they've purchased them. Combat. Some more combat. And some crafting. And on the end here is where you can delete skills that you don't want. The cost of the skill is based on how high you've already obtained the skill. So if you accidentally gain the skill, you get rid of it quickly. It costs a 0 if it's a 0 skill. This character is fine, but other characters whereby they're already full, if they wanted to pick up something completely different, they are going to have to go in and delete the skill, because once you have 15 skills, you cannot get any more. Okay, a quick look at the world map. The world map, you have, well, look at the big one first, the Doomsday Clock. The Doomsday Clock will slowly climb as you unlock settlements and you run away from battles or you lose battles. You can spend diplomacy points to reduce your Doomsday Clock. If the Doomsday Clock ever gets to here, the game will end. You have the same display here as you have in the settlements, and this is just a text reader of what's currently going on, the same as in the settlements. On here, you have a mixture at the moment of what settlements I've got available, what quests I've got available, and what boss monsters I have available. I can click on these and select boss quests, unlock quests. I've got some rescue quests. These give diplomacy points. These are really good to pick up, and they also reduce the doom clock if you increase the doom clock. Sorry, if you decline them. So it's best to get them done. And some treasure. It's a really good one to have. And that's it. That's your interface. Hope you enjoy the game, and I hope my call goes away soon. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.